Birkenstocks on right now.
A stock and sock situation?
Welcome to Spinsters, a podcast where we believe in aliens as mascots. I'm Jordan Liggins. Harry's here. Ciara's here. Haley is not here. She left us for a vacation. How dare she? No, just kidding. Enjoy. We're actually all going to be out for the long weekend. So we have like a wonky schedule next week. But don't worry. Spinsters will be here. You'll still get your episodes and it's going to be really good. Just take my word for it. Some other housekeeping. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Especially this episode, Ciara is showing league fit pics throughout the video that you don't want to miss. So there's a little teaser for you. But also, before we get into like the basketball talk, I think we have to acknowledge just what's going on in our country right now and how saddened we are and how heartbreaking it is by recent events with multiple mass shootings that is going on. It's also, we're recording this on Wednesday the 25th, the anniversary of George Floyd's death. Like, it's heavy. I had to put down Twitter. I had to put down my phone multiple times today. Broke out in tears. Like, it's just a lot right now. And we are trying to go back to work as normal. I think it's interesting how athletes are also trying to work as normal, answering questions about defenses when the world is like this. But we are going to try our best throughout this episode of bringing some light, some laughter to recent news. But yeah, we're all in this together and feeling very, very crappy. But basketball is still good. And after the break, more basketball talk. Well, we're here. And it's Harry, Ciara, and I. Haley's gone. So now it's time to have some fun. No, just kidding. But we do have some questions that Harry put on the rundown that we can finally address now that Haley's not here, which is so funny to me. And of course, this is a little bit of a throwback to our Vegas PowerPoint presentation, which, you know, subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't already. It's a great, great video. But I'm just going to go one by one through these, and whatever you guys feel called, we can speak on it. Question number 1. Is Devin Booker better than Donovan Mitchell?
That's a great question, Jordan. And I
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. And I do wish Haley was here to talk about this. It is kind of a shame that it's worked out as such that we kind of wanted to ask these questions this specific episode. But I'm going to go ahead and say 1,000% yes. You know, more athletic, taller, better shooter, went to a cooler college. Actually, not really, honestly. Fuck Kentucky. But
not really, but in this argument, I guess, yes.
More better style. Devin Booker's got
yes.
Donovan cool car.
Cool car.
Car's probably plural.
Yeah. Well, and I think this also goes into the whole All NBA list came out this week, and there were some surprising things on there, but Devin Booker was on there, and I believe that was his first time being on an All NBA team.
Any of them?
Right?
I think
Isn't
so, yeah.
So shocking. Well, to me, it's shocking, but I know people that I've talked to, especially after, you know, their last series, they love to bring up how he doesn't have the juice, as Harry would say, to really put their teams over the hump. But I think he deserved to be on it this year. And he won league fits MVP. So
That is something I'm passionate about. I disagree strongly about that.
oh, interesting.
Maybe it's just because I think the outfits they used in the graphic of him were boring. It was like pants and a t-shirt. And some of the other ones they had up there, I can't remember exact names, but I was DMing somebody about this. I was like, "Is this real?" I can't
You're
believe
like, what
it.
a disgrace.
I think he does have some good fashion. Maybe it was just the pictures they used, but I was like, "This is who it is." Not like SGA.
Devin Booker's style, it's very he kind of has like a boxy style. Like all of his shirts. Yeah.
Oh, sick fit.
Yeah, it's just a denim
This
button
is
down
literally
with a black
jeans and a
jacket.
t-shirt and Converse sneakers.
He's very Converse, very like square, boxy jackets and collared shirts, but it's very like clean.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like it. Best MVP of the league.
So, I have to say, Devin Booker's in my top 3. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he is in a world where a lot of NBA players, I think, dress poorly. I really love what Devin Booker's doing. I like the minimalist thing he's going for. I do think we were talking about this when we had drinks a couple months ago, Jordan. Frank Jackson is my league fits, like true league fits MVP. He is so stylish. Like he looks like a Tom Brown model every time he pulls up. Oh, yeah. Problem is he's not good enough at basketball, but he is
What team is he on? Like I have no idea.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I think he's on the Pistons, but yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
He's on Detroit.
But he won first team all league fits, right?
Second.
Or second team.
Come on.
Controversial.
Yeah, that's kind of a shame.
Russ was also second team. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Russ. It's like it's a little it's died down a little bit. He went with the shock factor, and now it's died down a little. But for Frank, it's effortlessly cool. That's what makes him so cool. It looks like he just grabbed random stuff out of his closet, and it looks like he's walking down the runway. It is so hard to pull off that effortlessly cool look, and that's why I agree. He's in my top 5. I'll give him top 5.
These are also like full fits. Layers.
He's talking right. He's doing earth tones. He's kind of got a whole sort of thing going on. It would be funny if Westbrook, as his kind of skill and prestige around the league declines, like he starts wearing less and less cool clothes. He like next season just starts pulling up in like Kirkland white tees.
That is, there's a graph to be made there, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, dress well, test well. When it was finals week for me in college, like everybody else was wearing hoodies. I was wearing a blazer, pantsuit. Like I believed that if I dressed well, my test scores would reflect that. So Westbrook, dress better, and maybe your averages will go up. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That's a little free advice.
For free of charge. But yes, Donovan Mitchell's style, not memorable. I actually nothing comes in my brain.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that comes to mind.
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna go with. Say it.
It's fine.
But maybe Google Donovan Mitchell rookies t-shirt. That is the biggest fashion. That's what I think of when I think of Donovan Mitchell's fashion, which is that tough kind of trying to win Rookie of the Year on a technicality. What I will say about Donovan
Very
Mitchell,
cool.
Yeah, I would love doing that. I love being a rules guy. The hype cycle of NBA stars does kind of there's this couple years where when you are a player who shows a ton of promise, there's like 2 or 3 years where everybody's excited just about your upside. And then often you start to hit the limit. And we're like, Ja is a great it is in the beginning of this, right? Where everybody's just so excited about the upside. And then I think a lot of people hit this wall where people get tired of their talking about their success and really start talking about their flaws. And I do think Devin Booker maybe 2 years ago was in that zone where it was like, he's just he can only score. He can't carry a team, all these things. He has emerged on the other side of this. Our guy Donovan, I think, is entering this zone where a lot of off-season questions this year are going to be, is he a number one guy? Is he, is it his fault or is it Rudy Gobert's fault? What's his real trade value? All that stuff. So I feel bad. Couldn't be me or my favorite player. But I see.
Couldn't be me.
I feel bad, but you never catch that shit happening to me. So,
which is a perfect transition to the next question that Harry put on here, which is his favorite player. And the question is Jordan Poole better than Donovan Mitchell?
Right.
And fascinating question. I think what you were saying, they're like crossing paths. Like the stock of Jordan Poole is going up and the stock of Donovan Mitchell is going down. Like it's not at the same rate, but the promise for Jordan Poole, I think, is top tier. Donovan Mitchell, there's just question marks swarming him right now. So if you go right now in this moment, I think you have a case. But overall, I don't know.
Jordan has not. He's nowhere close to the hate he will get. I suspect if somebody, like hypothetically, for example, the Sacramento Kings pay Jordan Poole like $200 million next or
Harry,
2 summers
could
from
happen.
now. I could see people being like, he doesn't play defense, he's not efficient, he throws the ball out, all that stuff. But for now, the
potential is there.
Yeah, it's a pool party for now. Like it's the excitement and I think just what we were talking about last episode of promise and waiting for someone to turn it around. Like he really is this poster child for G League success stories.
That's a good
like
point.
He went to the G League, he got his confidence, because when he first came, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I would be like, who? The person that loves to shoot but is a shooter but not a maker. That's what my college coach used to say. You're a shooter, but you're not a maker. Damn. So he was just jacking up shots. He was just jacking up shots. But now he built his confidence. He worked on his craft. So now he is a maker and he's entertaining and he's fun and he fits into this Warriors team so well that this is a different conversation. Yeah. It really is.
He wears cute little outfits too. So
he does.
He brought back the short
layering.
Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
That's a point in my book.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Cut of these jeans.
It just speaks to the fact that like when you go get like an unbelievable education from on and off the court, right? A guy like John Beilein, he's just known for being, well, actually, his rep in NBA circles is kind of tough.
Real tough.
but versus, learning from somebody like Rick Pitino, it just shows that your potential is just so much higher.
I cannot wait for Haley to listen to this. The one thing that we do with our microphones when she's gone is talk about Louisville. Which brings me to the next question on here.
Yeah.
Is the Louisville red a bit much? What do you mean by this, Harry? Is it too red? I don't think so. I think it's a cardinal. Red.
No, and I think that is totally a great point by you. What I would say though is it's a little bit harsh. It's a little harsh, it's like, oh man, like red. Whereas like a blue, like red. It's right. It's like burn your eyes red. Those memes that are like headache, pressure headache, migraine. It's that red.
Louisville red.
It's kind of a migraine red,
Jesus.
Oh my goodness. I just think of I don't know if this is a normal person's thought pattern of reds, but I think of red lipsticks, like the level of reds that you can go where there is a red where it starts to look orange and it's too much and it's not Ciara just pulled up a picture. That was exactly what I had in my mind. But then there's this warm red where it's like holiday party. This is a good red. So I feel you there.
I totally agree.
It just sounds like straight shade, but
No, it's constructive feedback.
Yeah. I'm excited to be producing my last episode of Spinster.
Yeah, sorry, Harry. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, last one. I think this is the kicker.
Speaking of which,
is Rick Pitino alive, and or has Rick Pitino ever been alive?
Right.
I want to know the thought process to get to this question and what was going through your brain, please.
Sure. No, a lot of people have been hitting me up about the Rick Pitino body double theory. I've been in kind of chat rooms where people have been talking to me about this. About is Rick Pitino, did he coach his last
chat rooms? I'm sorry. What year is this?
I'm keeping my ear to the ground. I'm on Threads. I'm on Discord. I'm talking to a lot of people who claim to have they shook Rick Pitino's hand and it was just kind of like a squishy synthetic material, kind of like a beanbag. Yeah. No, you're telling me. And
a plastic glove filled with pudding.
Yeah, the RPBD community is big.
Don't try to figure that out. I got it. It took me a sec, but I did get there.
And so I think obviously the answer is we don't know. We would have to cut him open or do something, kidnap him.
Oh my god! What?
Like where? Never mind. I actually don't want you to expand on that.
We're gonna leave that one there. Hopefully we all still have our jobs after this episode airs.
There's no way.
Haley, we love you, and those are the questions that we felt like we could rationally discuss, kind of, while you are not here. But anyway, let's get to some NBA stuff that has been happening. One thing I do want to talk about is the expansion talk, because I feel like this kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know if I'm alone in that. I feel like as soon as the W starts talking about expansion, the NBA is like, no, us first.
Me.
Yeah. And so they're talking about Seattle and Las Vegas for NBA teams. What do you guys think? Have you heard about this before, or did this drop just like for me too?
Yeah. If the NBA gets 2 more teams before the WNBA expands at all, I'm going to rip all of my toenails off.
Riot. Yeah, that's wild to me. But it's cool that they're going to where a W team is.
Yeah, that's kind of
Vegas, and Seattle. But they're going to where these teams are successful and they have a lot of attendance and the talk about basketball is buzzing in those cities. So the NBA is like, ooh, we need a piece of that. That's kind of cool as long as we uplift the W while we do that.
Yeah.
That's my only caveat.
I was going to say it does speak to the proof of concept that the Aces provided. Like the Aces came in and showed that Las Vegas can be a basketball city. Yeah. Which is exciting, because I think people had doubts about that 5 years ago. People would say a basketball team in Las Vegas, no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sports in general in Las Vegas. Like even the Raiders, and the Aces, and they're talking about
Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights. somebody, I think I just heard like the A's possibly going to Vegas. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've never lived in Las Vegas, but it doesn't seem like a super sporty place except for betting and gambling and like that whole spiel being there. But the Aces did. They proved it wrong, and the Raiders. Like, it just looks like a big hockey puck in the middle of Vegas, their whole arena. But I would be very curious what an NBA team would look like there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I bet there are smaller towns, like, Salt Lake City is not a basketball town. I will say I'm very excited about the idea of Seattle getting a team. Just because I like the idea of reuniting like a fan base with a team. I think that's a really fun concept for me.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Seattle, but by all accounts, it really was a big basketball city. And they had some fun teams. I mean, the Ray Allen teams were really fun. The one they got to see Kevin Durant. So I think that could be cool. I'm also very curious about how an expansion draft would look. I think that would be really fun.
That would be fun.
Right. Like, that's what I was thinking about, because the W has done that multiple times with teams folding and adding more teams. They've had expansion drafts, but an NBA version, and I think it's also I feel like on Instagram or Twitter, like, pick your one player to start a franchise with. Like, they're actually gonna be able to
let them
do that, which is so funny. It's always a big topic, but so they would definitely bring back, as a mascot, they would be the they would be the Sonics, right? They wouldn't rebrand.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
that would be a bad look.
What about and then I do have a question about expansion drafts, but just while we're on Seattle's mascot, what about like the Seattle Joes? And it's like a little cup of coffee. It's a little humanoid cup of coffee that's like, go team.
Humanoid? Like, it's just a cup,
like an anthropomorphic coffee
cup.
The Joes, the average Joes, or the special Joes.
At that point, they might as well be the Seattle Starbucks.
Okay,
like,
but
why
you could do
why not go all the way there?
Drip coffee is very popular. You could be kind of like dripping baskets in the hoop.
Oh, at this point, they're recruiting Jimmy Butler to really just go with the whole coffee scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I don't subscribe to that.
The
idea.
Joes.
Fair. That's fine. My question was, how does the W do expansion drafts?
Well, they have done before, like, if they take the Monarchs, for example, RIP, when they disbanded, basically all of the players are just up for grabs, and they did do like a normal draft and have teams just say, who do you want, like, to be a part of your roster? And they've done it multiple times throughout the history, including like one of the first ones. But in NBA sense, because there's not a team folding, like, I don't know what that means for the next draft. Do they just include them? Because that's also what the Aces did. Like, they just were a part of the next draft. They got the number 1 pick in Asia Wilson. And that's how that kind of started. And they got their franchise player to build around. So I'm not sure what it looks like from like a rookie class draft, just adding to it. I'm not sure.
But boy, won't it be fun.
It would be.
It will.
It would be fun to, like, so I think in other expansions, perhaps in hockey, the way they did it was, a team can tag a certain amount of players, like you can't touch Steph Curry, you can't touch Klay Thompson, but you can touch the Nemanja Bjelica or something. It would be really interesting to see who gets tagged, who doesn't, who emerges like as a star, because somebody on that kind of ragtag bunch would have to lead the team in scoring. It would be
Yeah.
fun.
I'd love to see who gets put up for the Lakers.
I was gonna say, they're like, yeah, you guys can have Westbrook. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Maybe Kevin Durant makes his final play and returns to Seattle.
You know what? That's not far off, especially because news is out there that Kyrie might be leaving the Nets, and then KD will once again be alone. No one is building around him. So if he just pieces out to Brooklyn, I honestly would be the least surprised if he's like, I want to go back to Seattle, who drafted me. That's interesting.
And he loves that kind of stuff. He could write a big old article about it. He loves it.
He does. I mean, it would be, I don't know, Kevin Durant, I kind of just want him to be happy. And I would love for him to stay put in Brooklyn, just so we can have some sense of normalcy and it's not superstars moving around like they're not superstars. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. They're talking about Kyrie's talking to LeBron again, and Zach LaVine is a free agency, so there's that in there. And I think that's going to be all of our off-season talk, is figuring out where these, again, big stars are going to land and if they're going to get their friends to come with them.
Yeah, I saw a report that Katie hasn't talked to the Nets front office like all summer. I mean, all
since they got eliminated.
Since they got swept. He's left them on red.
Yeah.
That
I don't know
rocks.
about that part. I just made that up. But it sounds more dramatic.
Yeah, that's bad news for I just don't think you delay telling somebody good news. You're like, sorry, it took me a while to get back to you. I'm excited for next season.
Well, Ben Simmons is still there. Is that enough for KD?
No, I don't
Will he
think
play
so.
basketball again? Who knows? If he wants to, if he's up for it. But yeah, I think that all goes into it, and I think I would not put it past KD if he goes to this new Supersonics Seattle team. But what would be a good mascot for the Vegas team?
Oh, good question. Are you
I'm
keeping
big
it,
on mascots.
Are you
I'm
keeping
really
it thematic like the Aces?
It could be, but the Kings are already taken. I was also thinking, like,
Yeah.
could it be like if we're going cards related? It would be strange if they weren't related at all, but
Yeah. Vegas is a place where your team names need to relate back to the city. Otherwise, they're totally unattached.
yeah. But there's a small pool
Yeah,
to
very
gather
niche.
from.
Good thing I don't know anything about gambling or casinos.
What about
What
like
happens?
Guys.
there's a lot of
No.
or at least in the 80s and 90s there used to be a lot of organized crime in Las Vegas. What about like the mob? The Vegas mob. That's cool.
That's not the worst.
So that sounds like what like the cheering section would be called. Like
The wise
get your
guys.
tickets for the
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 No.
Vegas wise guys?
What's that mascot? It's just a guy. Just a
Is
guy.
Yeah, it's just, like,
Just a
Italian
guy.
Tony
the
Soprano.
mascot is in. Yeah, the mascot's in all of us. Just some
Yeah.
guy.
You are a part of us. Oh goodness.
I will say they cannot establish a team in Vegas if you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes inside the arena. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but
No.
I can't support it. It should be open, or you can have like half and half the smoking and the non-smoking section. But
Oh my goodness. I feel like that's what happened during a recent Aces game. Like after they did the starting lineup, it was so smoky in there because of like, after they did the whole show, it was just like a haze over the court as they started the game. And that's what I'm sure it would be if they allowed smoking in the arena.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
There's that famous I believe Game 6 Spurs Heat.
They're smoking us out of here.
Yeah, where the AC went down, and there's some conspiracy about maybe the Spurs did that on purpose. What about similar situation? We get a star with maybe who's isn't well conditioned, and they just tell everybody to show up to the arena with like 40 cigarettes, and they just everybody is lighting up
a big fat cigar.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's how they kind of gain a competitive advantage.
I mean, it is home court advantage. It's the same as altitude when you go play in Denver. Yeah. When you come to Vegas, you got to play through the smoke.
Everyone bring your vapes. With 5 minutes left in the first quarter, we're all going to blow the fattest cloud.
It's like Bronny Jr., but instead of doing the cloud, he's like blowing a jewel.
Yeah.
I do not support any of these ideas. NBA, if you're listening, we're trying to find you a mascot. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to cut back some of the
what's a good
marketing.
mascot?
Goodness. Well, if it is going off of the Aces, what is cards? Like a full house.
The full
royal
the Royals
flush.
Royal.
I think you got to eliminate flush.
Yeah, just
you cannot,
the Royals.
You can't. No, the Kansas City Royals, right?
Yeah,
that's a thing. Yeah, but there's a different sport,
right? Okay.
I think Royals is cool. You could do like do like a purple and gold color scheme or something,
Well,
like a real.
We have that taken care of here in Los Angeles.
Oh, you're right. I wasn't even thinking of those colors. I was thinking of the Kings. I was like, but the Kings are purple.
No, the Lakers are literally purple and gold.
Yeah,
But
I was thinking a much
Aces,
deeper purple.
Yeah, and they're like black and gold and red.
Yeah.
And the Golden Knights are like black and gold. So they would for sure be black and gold, which I think is a great jersey. It's a really good jersey. All right.
Yeah.
Vegas Royals.
Goldie gold.
Okay.
All right. Well, we did it.
Gold Eagles. No. That's giving high school football vibes.
Yeah.
I've got one more I want to throw at you for a name. I was actually talking about this with producer John a while ago. Something in Las Vegas, something in Nevada is Area 51, okay, where the government holds aliens and all kinds of other things. What about like the aliens or like
there's something there.
The Roswells or whatever, like something.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about? Isn't that what they call that one alien that we might have? Something like
I have no idea.
John said
Not
there's like
even an ounce.
You know that one alien we got. We all know about it.
Area 51. Oh, whatever. We'll talk about it off mic. The Area 50, the Las Vegas 51ers or something. I think that's actually a New Mexico AAA baseball team or something.
Okay.
There's something there. The spaceships, the UFOs,
the rockets.
The rockets.
The rockets versus the UFOs.
The saucers.
Would be...
The saucers.
Okay. I think my
fun.
favorite one from that very eclectic group that you just threw out there, 51ers is pretty cool because that some cool. I just automatically think of the merch. Like, what's the merch looking like? And if it's like black and gold, spaceships, that I could get down with that. I can get down with that.
Is it too similar to the 76ers?
76ers versus the 51ers is a mouthful. And then you talk about the 49ers. And then there's a lot of ers. But it flows. It's not too out there. So I respect it. I respect it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know if the NBA would buy into it. I feel like the NBA, the government, if the government's trying to hide aliens from us, they're definitely silencing the NBA.
Right. I was going to say, and Adam Silver definitely knows.
He for sure knows.
Well, Adam Silver is an alien.
Yeah.
So
he knows from personal experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, switching gears from the teams that already exist and that are in the going to the finals potentially. I'm here with two Warriors fans. Talking about their last game. They did get down by 29 points, and it was very on brand that we did the whole last episode about blowouts, and it just felt like it was going to be one and the same. But I am not on record saying this. I should have recorded myself, but I said during the top of the third quarter or the end of the second, I was like, if there's one team where a lead is not safe, it's the Warriors. And it seemed like that's exactly what happened as the others, as Reggie keeps calling, which I think is just disrespectful. I hate that. But he's saying the others, the non-starters, the non-superstars, got the Warriors back in it. How are you guys feeling? It was almost a sweep. You could have been done, but now you have another game. How do you feel?
Oh, fine. The Warriors love to have these games where they forget to play basketball. They think it's really funny. And now they get to win it at Oracle.
No.
Or
Chase Center. Chase Center.
Yeah, or Chase Center. I agree with Ciara. I think that the Warriors love to do this thing where they will they'll do something like dastardly and bad, and there is this urge to kind of like read into it, you know. And I think the weathered Warriors fan knows to just be like, this was a pretend game. It's like, it doesn't matter. I know we had this, you could read into it like, did Kerr bench the starters? Is this going to be like an effort thing? Or what if you're, Bielitsa or Moody or Poole, are you kind of grumbling that you're not a starter? There's all these narratives that I think could arise, but I do think that that the Warriors have done this before. We lost by 500 to Memphis in the first round or second round. I mean, like we Ciara's right. We just forget how to play basketball sometimes, and I think it's as simple as that. So I am expecting a bounce back win on Friday or whenever.
I also wasn't expecting, like, everyone was like, Dallas is done, like sweep, and it's like they're still a good, like, they still have Luka. I wasn't expecting Dallas to just like sit down and let us win, even though their body language after game 3 was just that. But still.
Yeah, I that's why I did think it. I feel like they said it. I feel like Luka was like, I'm still young, and there's next year. And Jason Kidd's like, we're not even supposed to be here. This is just fun, and we're learning. So I'm like, oh, this is over. Like, you guys are talking about it like it's over. But on that same hand, it takes Dallas having a record shooting night. At one point, they were shooting 55% from beyond the arc. So it's not even like the Warriors were playing trash. Like, they were playing awful. Dallas made everything. And it is only a testament to the Warriors that it takes that type of game to beat them, and they still had a chance to come back because those shots weren't falling so much in the third and fourth quarter. So it's even more of a testament that the Warriors are so great that you have to drain, I think it was 23s as a team, something obnoxious like that. So yeah, I think it was just a blip. What can you do? The ball's going in. It was literally raining from the ceiling and raining from the 3-point line in Dallas. There's not, you just kind of lift up your hands.
That's the real conspiracy. Yeah. Dallas flooding their own stadium so the Warriors cannot complete a third quarter comeback.
The timing was suspicious. I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, especially after this like t-shirt debacle.
They're
up to anything with the Theo Pinson wearing the Supreme t-shirt. I love the idea of getting fined $100,000 for wearing a Supreme t-shirt. That's a precedent we should.
Yeah, I think we could kind of blanket,
no matter what color,
blanket apply that to all NBA players. Yeah, to anyone.
To anyone.
Supreme pocket tee. Yeah, that's about $100,000 to step in the door.
My favorite was them just continually panning the camera on Mark Cuban, being like, "This you? Like your arena? Like, don't you got some money to patch these holes up?" Like that was my favorite part, to go to the millionaire who's sitting at every game.
Yeah,
put some money into this. This is a travesty.
It's a tough look. Yeah, I do think the thing that I am worried about with this sweep, and why I really think Game 5 is actually super important for the Warriors, is whoever we have coming out of, I don't think the Warriors should look ahead, but I'm looking ahead. Whoever we have afterwards, I think it's going to be Boston. Even if it is Miami, this still stands. They're a really talented and really like physical defense that the Warriors are going to struggle with. These are the types of defenses that can kind of shut off the Warriors offense. So every day of rest is going to matter. And especially as the Celtics and the Heat kind of beat each other up in this way, it's all obviously, I don't mean injury, but I mean like fatigue and kind of just the wear and tear of each game, physically and emotionally. The Warriors are going to need everything we can get. And so having that week and a half of rest, getting Otto Porter back, getting Gary Payton back, like these are things that I think will really make a big difference. So I really want us to win. I want that series to go 7, and I want us to win on Friday.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And are you worried about the defensive side? Because Jason Kidd, I think he said he feels good about himself that the Warriors can't guard them one-on-one and that they are playing more zone. And that's like a testament to his team. Is it a testament to Dallas, or is it like the Warriors are trying to save some energy? I'm trying to think about why people play zone at this level. But what do you make of that as Warriors fans? What are you seeing?
I don't think the Warriors defense, I don't know. People like to rag on the Warriors defense, but individually the Warriors have great defenders. I also don't like the assertion we can't guard them one-on-one. I don't think that's true.
It's not.
What are you talking about? Dude, look at the box score.
No, in 2014, Charles Barkley went on TNT and was like, the Warriors are a jump shooting team, and have irreputably shifted the narrative into us being bad defenders, even though by the numbers we're like a top 5 defense every year, because we're like little guys who run around shooting jump shots.
And now Kevon Looney is like the greatest player in the entire league, so that's been crazy.
No, I think I like the zone coming out of timeouts. I don't like, it was a bit of fool's gold when we made this big comeback on the 3-2 zone, because I do think that if you give somebody enough, especially somebody like Luka, enough looks at a zone, he's gonna figure it out. So I almost wish we'd saved it a little bit more, but the Heat go zone and they're like, Heat culture, we eat nails for breakfast. It's like
that's a great example. It's a tactic. It's not necessarily to show weakness. I think when we were watching the game, my fiance and I, we were just thinking about our rec league teams, like when we play zone, and it's not the same. Like Luka was getting so many paint touches in a zone, which typically that's supposed to stop that. And he was being able to penetrate, get 2 feet in the paint and kick it out for a wide open 3. And what was happening was the Warriors were just like, okay, it's Luka. 4 people turn and look. They absorb everything in the paint, and then he's able to kick it out to a Reggie Bullock who had a great shooting night. And we were looking, we were like, wow, that's a good zone. I wish all of the people that I play with, when we are, it's like their feet are in cement, and it's an excuse to not play defense when you play a zone. I wish we could show them this game film, but it's a tactic. It's not necessarily a weakness or to say that you can't guard them one-on-one. So nice try, Jason Kidd.
The Jason Kidd propaganda machine runs strong.
When I played basketball in high school, I always found zone to be much harder to play because it was just not intuitive. Like you had to run places you don't think you're supposed to run. So, if I was in there, I might struggle.
I mean, I play zone because I don't want to play defense, and I'm very old now, and I'm like, put me on the top of the zone so I can just run from this part of the court to this part of the court. That's why I do it now. But good thing my stats in these old lady leagues are not public, so my plus minus would not be good. I'll just say that. We're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, Harry has an idea of how we can fix blowouts, and I can't wait to hear it. We're back. Harry has an idea. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I was at a bar called Brooklyn Crab on Saturday. It's this bar in Red Hook where you can it was very hot out, and so it's by the water. You get a little breeze. You can hang out, and they have there cornhole. Okay,
love cornhole.
Cornhole is really fun. Something I didn't know about cornhole. One of my friends from the Midwest said, kind of in a nonchalant way, expecting everybody to know this, is that he was like, "Okay, everybody, all right, we're going to 21. Got to hit it on the nose," or he said something like that. And what that means is you have to get exactly 21 to win. If you get 20, if you get 22, you go back to 11, or you go back to some other number. And then if you hit 20, if you go over 21 twice, you go back to 0.
Wow.
A couple days later, I'm watching one of these blowouts, and I'm like, this is what we need. It should be like if you get over 23-point lead, you like start losing points. So you gotta like keep them in it, like within a standard lead. So like if you say it's 25 points, right? If if you're up 23 points, you can't hit a 3. All you can do is hit a 2, and if you hit a 3, you go back, maybe you go back down 10 points or something. If you do it again, you're tie game or something. So that way you can never have a blowout, because if you get close, the cornhole rules start applying. And or because this idea obviously doesn't totally make sense, it could count as
I'm glad you could see it, but I'm with you.
As fouls against you. So like if you want to go above, or it counts as a foul. So if you're up 25, and you're the Warriors, you have to take Steph Curry out, because every point he scores is a foul. So then you have to throw in, Damian Lee to come in and play so he can soak up some fouls, which would obviously, no shots at Damian Lee, but likely increase or decrease the difference in the team. What do we think?
I have a few questions.
Go for it. I'm still digesting.
Yeah, why are you marinating that?
Okay. Yeah.
What happens? Say it's 25. What happens? This team who's winning gets to 25, and then they just like kind of park themselves there. They're passing the ball around for a shot clock violation. And I mean, I guess, I suppose they're not going to be able to play lockdown defense every single time back down.
That's
how.
I think that's what I'm thinking. They have to just stand there like idiots and take shot clock violations. Nobody wants to.
So
do
it's
that.
just kind of like a embarrassing.
Exactly. It's like
NBA's gonna love this,
right? And it's kind of a commentary on opulence and wealth hoarding too. It's kind of like, what are you doing? This is so embarrassing that you think you need 25 points to feel happy about yourself. You know,
greed.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing now that you mention it. winning a basketball game is embarrassing. Oh, you need to win a game
Shame on
to
you.
have to feel like you accomplished something. Embarrassing.
Yep, we got all the billionaires in the stands, kind of being like, maybe I'm up by 25 points. You know,
maybe I need to park it. Maybe I need to start losing points. And give it to somebody else.
Turning the ball over. People who only understand the world through like basketball metaphors.
Yeah, it's like basketball.
People have directly told them like, you suck, and they're like, wait, they're like, in this basketball game. Okay, Harry. Sure. I mean, I think it works. I like the idea of it being this number that you can't go over or you have to hit, or because it's kind of like the I always get this wrong. What is it called when it's like they take time out and you have to hit a number like they did on the All-Star game?
Elam. It feels wrong because it sounds so close to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about billionaires who need a reality check. But that's I love that idea of the Elam ending where time is not a factor. You have to hit a certain amount, and then you see defensive strategy like, okay, they only give them threes, like pack the paint because they don't need a 2 right now. That would be fun from like a strategy standpoint. But I'm also like, this should be a separate sport. Like how they had that one sport at one time where it was like trampoline basketball courts, and they were like, it was like slam ball or something like that. Yeah. And they had the trampolines and they were dunking, and then you just make up all new rules for a new sport. That's what I would subscribe this to.
Instead of expanding the NBA, they should create a new league that is just experimental basketball.
Yes.
And everything we want to I guess they kind of use the G League for that sometimes, but like everything they want to test out, no matter how wacky, kind of the Harlem Globetrotters, but as a league.
Ciara, this is a great idea.
I'm right there. Yeah. We could do all kinds of stuff. I've got, you know, I want like the corner threes to be the key, but it's like if you stay there for too long, you get electrocuted. That's been something I've been thinking about. I would just want Kyle Korver like
all the players are wearing shot collars.
It might be a little
it's a little dark.
But, yeah, a little dark. But the no, I think at scale it would be bad. It
could just be a violation.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we talked about before. We had a whole episode on this where we're, you know, extending the 3-point line. We're shortening the 3-point line. I was actually on a call the other day where this one woman, she gave this idea that, you know how the worst argument for women's basketball in WNBA is to lower the rim. And I hate that. But she made the count that we should actually raise the rim for the NBA instead of the other way around, because over time, men have grown more, and when basketball was invented, the average height was much shorter. So we should raise the rim to accommodate for more of a taller society.
Gentlemen.
And
that's interesting.
Blew my mind.
I'm in.
No one has thought about that. We've only talked about lowering the rim. But a whole league where all of these things are changing, like from game to game, which let's just make it obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm in. I don't even know what we would call this, but we have so many ideas on this episode. Like, this is a marketing push for so many things.
Someone's got to get Adam Silver on the horn.
Ask him about aliens and
Yeah, I'm like, he's always mysteriously missing.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you think.
Uh,
Another thing we want to talk about is the W. I just brought it up. Not about lowering the rim, because if you tell me that, I will punch you in the face. I've never punched anyone in the face, but that it's a bold statement, and I don't like it.
I feel strongly about that too.
Thank you. But Harry, you do not have a WNBA team, and the WNBA season is underway. It's been so much fun. Teams are surprising. Superstars are doing superstar things, but you don't have a team to cheer for. And Ciara has a quiz, which is giving me like 17 magazine, where I would get like answer all the multiple choice questions of which team is right for you from Flagrant Mag. Shout out to Flagrant Magazine. That we can match you with a WNBA team. So
I'm excited.
let's do it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
yeah.
excited too.
It's not as much a quiz. I've done a quiz before for a different thing, but this one's more of like a, if you're this, you'll like this.
I like
good.
those too.
I did have a section for a Warriors fan. Cannot imagine a life in which your team is not dominating the league. This is a little dated too. This is from issue 1 of Flagrant, which came out in like 2020 or like end of 2019. But my answer for that is the Las Vegas Aces, who are basically always good and now are even better because they have Becky Hammond.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, so as I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, what do I like about the Warriors?
yeah, what are your values?
What are you looking for? Yeah.
So I of course like that the Warriors are really good and the greatest franchise of all time. But I specifically like the shooting and the speed. And the kind of like way that the Warriors move the ball. So is there a team that fits that bill? Because I do that's my favorite part about basketball is that it's the Warriors offense and the fluidity of it all.
Yeah, I saw some crazy graphic about the Aces since Becky Hammond came in. I'm gonna find it.
Oh,
please do.
It's the same.
It's still the Aces. Yeah, that's what me and Ciara kind of made eye contact, because last season the Aces were the fastest by pace in the W, and this year they're even faster. Like under Becky Hammond, they move the ball, and it's also good for context too. They're like coming from the San Antonio Silver Stars. That's what the Aces used to be, and it's like Spurs influence. Becky Hammond used to coach for the Spurs. She played for the Silver Stars, so it is like that Spurs-esque of moving the ball, getting everyone involved, and getting into it quicker. I saw a clip, she was mic'd up during like a shoot around, and she said, she was like, stop the play. Like, you have the green light to shoot at any time. Like, if it's open, if it's right here, shoot it. We don't have to run through the whole thing. And that has always been a thing with women's basketball. I harp on as a player, as somebody who watches it. Sometimes we can get a little robotic and we can like want to run the play, go through the whole motions. But for her to say, like, giving them space, if we can get a quicker shot, let's get the fastest shot. Let's shoot the three. And Kelsey Plum is an amazing shooter.
Yeah. So I found the graphic. These three stats are all best in the WNBA. 41.3% from three, a 112.5 offensive rating, and they score 93.3 points a game.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is, and I always forget, the WNBA, the quarters are only 10 minutes.
Right.
Less time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot.
That is a lot. Okay. There's a lot to like there. Now, I'm nervous about coming in and liking the best team, right? Isn't that a little bit like that?
Bandwagon's almost full. It's almost full.
And I will say, going back to my Warriors fandom, one of the most rewarding parts about being a Warriors fan was that when I did start being a fan, they were really, really bad. And so I did really enjoy seeing that transformation. I think my first year was the year before. My first year being a fan of the Warriors was the year before we got Baron Davis. So we had Mike Dunleavy, Troy Murphy. So
Was Beedrins on the team?
yes, Beedrins was on the team. So is there a team that is lovable but just really bad? That was the Warriors at the time.
The dream question mark?
That's a good one. They're on the up though. So this would be a time to hop on.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, because they have been bad for the past like 3 seasons, like pretty bad. Winning less than 10 games out of a 30 plus game season, so not good. But they are on the up. They've had we talked about it on the podcast when we had Ari Chambers on. They have their best start since 2017, which was like winning 4 games in a row. Like it was it was a low bar. They have Ryan Howard, who is a front runner for Rookie of the Year, and in MVP conversations. They also just have like a new court. They overthrew their owner, who was a racist. Like also, like I feel like there's that political angle there as well. Former player Renee Montgomery, now an owner. So that could be enticing. They are not the best team in the league, but you can like see.
You can see the vision.
Hope. Yeah, you're like, okay, this is something. Whereas before, it was frustrating in the W because there was so much like the Seattle Storms and the Aces and Connecticut were sweeping everybody. And then it was the Dream, the Fever. Like everyone was really bad and really, really good. Now they're kind of getting in the middle, which makes every night so much more fun to watch.
The Dream did lose by 20 yesterday. So they're on the up, but
yeah.
They're
That's
working
something
on
the
it still.
2009 Warriors would do.
Yeah. Getting big 2009 Warriors vibes.
I mean, they almost did it the other night too.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the
That's
Warriors would
true.
do this year, yeah. Okay. I do like I really like Ryan Howard. She's sick.
Yeah.
Now, here's my last one that I've been thinking about. I live really near Barclays Center. And I have biked by a number of times as Liberty games have gotten out, and I have been like, oh shoot, I should just be a Liberty fan. Like this is the it's in my backyard. It's there's no Oakland team yet. That might be the secret answer.
They're working on it.
That would solve a lot of your problems.
Right.
It would create problems for me as like a diehard Sky fan and diehard Bay Area fan, but a team in Oakland.
But New York is my home now, so I am kind of like maybe I got to go with the Liberty. But there's not. I haven't been able to. So the other team, I think Jonquil Jones is so sick. Like her highlights are awesome. So I am if I had to pick a tri-state area team off star player alone, it would be the Sun. But nothing makes me more frustrated than a regular season team that does bad in the playoffs. It makes me like,
that's the Sun,
right? Yeah. And so I think they're eliminated. But what about the Liberty? Who is there somebody on the Liberty that I can gravitate to who might grow into a superstar role or?
Yeah. So when Ciara said the Dream, I was actually thinking the Liberty for this team because they've had ups and downs of being really, really good and not so good. And right now, they were really bad. And then they went to the playoffs. They went to the playoffs last season. So now they're in middle. But you do have Sabrina Ionescu, who is on the Liberty, Bay Area native, right? I believe so.
I think
I can fact check this.
I think so.
I'll look while you're talking.
Yes. So there's that connection right there. She has the star power. She's also looking very, very good this season. It has said multiple times that she's actually 100%. She's been playing her first 2 years, like not all there. But Nigel Laney.
She is from Walnut Creek.
There you go. Yes, I knew
Shout
that.
out the Shane Company.
Well,
Cupertino, San Mateo,
Shanko.
and Walnut Creek.
Yes. So there's that Bay Area connection. Benai Jelani just won Most Improved Player, which I think is an award Jordan Poole should have won. So if you're like in that realm of somebody who's made a leap, Benai Jelani is that person. Also, really good colors.
Yeah.
The teal is amazing.
Really
and the
sick branding.
Really good. Like they're free. What are they called? The Freedom jerseys? It says equality in the Liberty logo, and it's my next jersey. I want one. So,
okay,
that's my case.
Yeah.
And it's right down the street, so you could go to a lot of home games, but everybody goes and plays everyone, so you could go see the Dream there or, the Aces.
Now you're making a great case.
Thank you so much.
Is Dolan the owner?
No.
No.
Oh.
No. So this is the
What's he
great.
ever? Did I make that up?
No, he was. He literally left them out to dry. That's why they're at Barclays now. Like they're not at Madison Square Garden.
Oh,
so this is also the team where the owner was paying for them to have chartered flights.
Oh,
and
yeah.
was like, hey, I'm going to actually treat my players like they're professionals. I'm going to pay for their flights. And then he got in trouble for, quote unquote, treating them too well.
Oh
Joseph.
By the league.
I believe
it's Joe Tsai.
Tsai.
So it's the guy who owns
Same
the
as the
Nets.
Nets.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hot Rocks.
Okay. I'm
That is good points.
I think right now I love this I love the Liberty as the Sabrina Ionescu Bay Area connection really does it for me because I like the idea of rooting for a Bay Area star.
Yeah.
All right, hey, Liberty. I've
Go Liberty.
Yeah, go Liberty.
This is such a wonderful moment. I love how we got here and day one fan right here.
Yeah. I should have had like a hat thing.
Yeah.
There's
for every team.
There's the episode art.
Here, wait, maybe I'll Photoshop it. Yeah, or I'll
Yeah.
do it in real time. So like, hold on, ready?
Welcome. I'm sure Liberty fans will be so happy that you have joined them.
Also,
What a day. Spencer's history.
Wasn't it Liberty Sparks for like the first game ever in the WNBA? That's
First
neat.
game ever.
Okay.
Ever.
That's a little trivia for you.
That is
Yes.
good.
Yes. Fun fact, I did some woman on the street for buckets outside of the Sparks home opener.
I saw that.
And I met multiple women who were there at the very first game and have been super fans for 26 years. It was
God, that
so
rocks.
fun.
That's
it was
amazing.
so fun to talk to them. Oh, well, this was fun.
Yeah.
It's
Real.
like when the teacher's away,
Yeah. While the
we
cats
play.
are away, the mice will play.
That's what I was trying to say. What did I say? Teachers? No.
We went on a
that's what I was
substitute.
trying to say.
We were talking about substitute teachers earlier
Yeah.
and how this is substitute teacher energy.
Yeah, Haley, if you do get this far, please let me keep working at Spinsters. I was joking about what I was saying in the beginning. I think Louisville.
She definitely turned it off. Like 5 minutes
Yeah,
in.
right
She's
after
like,
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
Exactly.
Louisville slander. Oh,
If you made it through the first 15.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it. That's our show where we create lifelong New York Liberty fans, one step at a time. Leave us a voicemail. Tell us what you love in a W team. We can try to match you. Send us an email. Call us at 502-874-4453. Or send us an email at spinsters@bluewirepods.com to be featured on the show. Shout out to our team, New York Liberty #1 fan, Harry Krinsky, and Chicago Sky, who just got their rings from their championship, superfan, Ciara Smith.